Welcome to It's Not Just Menopause, the podcast that empowers you to navigate midlife with confidence through real talk, root cause insights, and no BS strategies that actually work. If you're dealing with fatigue, stubborn weight, brain fog, or just feeling off and overlooked, this show is for you. Discover what's really going on with your hormones and why it's not just about estrogen. Each episode breaks down what your doctor didn't explain, the internet got wrong, and what your body's been trying to tell you all along. From stress and metabolism to nervous system support and functional nutrition, we'll cover the tools that help you feel more like yourself, again, without restrictive diets, overwhelming plans, or hormone hype. I'm your host, Cindi, functional nutrition practitioner and certified menopause specialist. I'm here to guide you through the midlife noise so you can stop guessing, get the clarity you deserve, and finally take back control of your health. If you've ever felt dismissed, overwhelmed, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, you're in the right place. Let's rewrite the menopause story without the fluff. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of It's Not Just Menopause. I'm on another one of my GLP-1 nutrition episodes because 2 weeks ago on episode 150, we talked about the foundations of the nutrition you need when you're on a GLP-1, especially if you're over 40, women. And we talked about the hidden stressors that were already working against your GLP-1 results because of perimenopause and menopause, and what the medication actually does and doesn't do, and what your body really needs on this medication in perimenopause and menopause. And so today I am doing episode number 2 of this series, even though they're every other week. We're going to go deeper into the single most important nutrition choice you can make on a GLP-1, and that is protein. And I'm sure you hear this all the time. You probably see it all over social media. But I want to start with something that might be a little hard to hear, that the number on the scale is really lying to you, okay? Not on purpose, and it's just not telling you the whole story, okay? Because weight loss and fat loss are not the same thing. And on a GLP-1 in menopause and perimenopause, right, without the right nutrition underneath it as your foundation, a significant portion of what you're losing is probably not just fat, okay? It's muscle. And that matters more than most women realize, because don't forget, in perimenopause and menopause, we're already losing muscle, even if you're not on a GLP-1, okay? So let me tell you what happens when women lose weight or lose muscle while they're losing weight. The scale goes down, and you feel good about it, right? I know I do, right? I'm on this journey, right? But your metabolism can slow down, your energy drops, you feel weaker, things that used to feel easy start to feel hard, and eventually you hit a wall. The results stall, and you can't figure out why. Okay, but here's why, right? I'm here to tell you. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. Okay, muscle has a lot to do with your metabolism. It burns calories at rest. Like, who else wouldn't want to burn calories while you're sleeping, right? The more muscle you have, I do, right? It regulates your blood sugar. And in perimenopause and menopause, our blood sugars are unstable because of no estrogen, right? And progesterone. So muscle keeps your metabolism running at a pace that supports fat loss. And so when you lose muscle, you're losing all that, right? You're affecting your metabolism big time. And in perimenopause and menopause, you're already more vulnerable to muscle loss. Like I said before, some statistics that I've seen, it's 3 to 8% every decade. Okay, so really, if you're on the higher end of that, you could be losing 1% of your muscle every year. Okay, so if you're at the 8% in a decade, okay, or 10%. So declining estrogen accelerates it, which I talk about all the time. And a GLP-1 that suppresses your appetite, it's doing its job, but it makes it dangerously easy to undereat. And like I said, I'm on this journey. I have those days too. And undereating on top of declining estrogen, on top of a body already under stress, that's a setup for losing muscle that you cannot afford to lose. The scale might look great, but your body is paying for it later. Now there are more body scan scales out there. I have one myself. I have a regular scale. and then a body scan scale where I hold the little handles, my hands, and it kind of tells me my muscle, I'm increasing muscle and I'm losing fat. But if you don't have one of those, you don't know what you're really losing. You just see the number going down. Okay. So you just want to be extra careful with that. But this is something that I don't hear talked about enough when it comes to this, that under eating protein isn't just a nutrition gap. It's a hidden stressor. And if you've been listening to me for any time, you know that what I'm talking about when it comes to women over 40. Under eating puts your body in fight or flight, and it holds on to body fat. And no matter if you're on a GLP-1 or not. Okay. So your body reads low protein as intake as a scarcity, right? It doesn't know when it's going to get food again. So it's doing its job to protect you because it senses a threat. But it's holding on to the fat that you have for future needs. Okay. Even though you're not really under threat, but your body senses it as a threat. And so, as your body reads that scarcity, it goes into that protection mode, right? And we talked about that a couple weeks ago. It just holds on and it slows down your metabolism and it prioritizes survival over fat loss. Okay. So here's what's happening for a lot of women on a GLP-1. The medication suppresses appetite, its job, right? You eat less. You're not tracking protein, so you don't realize how little you're eating. Your body reads it as the scarcity. Your cortisol goes up, which is our stress hormone. Muscle breaks down. Metabolism slows. The scale is moving, but the body is not in a good place. Okay, the scale is moving because you're losing muscle. Before we get back to today's episode, this one's for you if you're on a GLP-1 and your body still doesn't feel right. Maybe you're exhausted no matter what you do. Maybe the side effects never really went away. Or you're barely eating and worried about losing muscle, or the weight was coming off and then just stopped. You're not crazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. If you've been told to just push through it, it's time for real answers. Take my free quiz, What Are Your GLP-1 Symptoms Really Telling You? In under 2 minutes, you'll find out what's actually behind how you're feeling and get my free guide sent straight to your inbox. Check the link in the show notes. And now let's get back to today's episode. And blood sugar is part of this too. So protein is what steadies your blood sugar curve, right? We do not want to have big swings on our blood sugar, right? And without enough of the protein, blood sugar becomes unstable. And every crash is a cortisol spike because cortisol is doing its job. When your blood sugar crashes, cortisol spikes to help compensate for that. And so, in perimenopause and menopause, every cortisol strike is another signal to your body that you need to, that it needs to hold on to that fat and protect you, okay? Because it senses it as a stressor. So under eating protein keeps your body in the exact state the medication is trying to help you get out of, okay? So let's talk about if you've been on a GLP-1 for a while now, okay? And maybe your results have slowed or stopped. And I just want you to consider this before you think about changing your dose, okay? What does your protein intake look like? Okay. Not what you think it looks like. I mean, what does it actually look like? Okay. Because most women, when they really track it for a few days, are getting far less than they think, especially on a GLP-1 when hunger is suppressed and meals are smaller and less frequent. As a twice certified macronutrition coach, I can calculate your macros. I do not use an app to calculate them because apps are just wrong. Because they don't take into account certain things. I just do it by hand. And I tell this to all my clients who, for nutrition, if you don't write down what you eat, we don't know what you're really eating. You could be under eating, you could be overeating because we forget what we're snacking on and we take a bite of this and a bite of that. And before you know it, we have eaten another extra 1,000 calories and we didn't know that we did. Okay. Or we have undereaten. So you really don't know what you're eating until you literally write it down. Every single bite that you take. And it only has to be for like 3 or 4 days. It doesn't have to be a long time, but you need to know what you're eating in order to fix it. And it's not to like shame you or anything like that, but For me to do my job, I need to know what you're really eating. It's like when you go to your doctor and don't tell them everything you're doing, they can't help you because they only have part of the picture. It's the same with me. I need to know exactly what you're eating. Listen, I had crumble cookies yesterday because my family has 4 birthdays in July, including mine. I just turned 60 a week ago today when I'm recording this. And it was my mom's birthday. She's 83. My grandson will be 12 next week. And my son-in-law, his birthday is also next week. So we just celebrate our birthdays. And I got crumble cookie and I had some. I'm on a GLP-1. I'm a nutritionist, for crying out loud. I have 5 nutrition certifications. I'm a functional nutritionist, right? So I still eat that, but in moderation, obviously. But it's like, you need to know what you're eating in order to fix it. Okay, so sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now. But this is what I see all the time, kind of like what I was just saying. So you are eating what feels like a normal amount of food. Breakfast is light because you're not hungry. We'll talk about that breakfast thing on another episode. Okay. Lunch is small because you're still not hungry. Dinner is reasonable, but nothing big. And across the whole day, you're getting maybe 50 to 60 grams of protein. You don't know that because you're not tracking. And you're not tracking because the scale is moving and you think that things are working. Okay. But underneath, your body is in that scarcity mode, right? Cortisol is elevated, muscle is breaking down, metabolism is slowing, and eventually the scale stops moving too. And that's when women, call the medication a failure or call themselves a failure, but really neither is true. Okay? So what's true is that your body needed the fuel that it's not getting. And the longer it goes without the protein, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. So it can be reversed. I'm not here to scare you, but you really have to be aware of it. Okay. And so this is one of the most common things I see in women on GLP-1s, and it's one of the most fixable. But you have to know it's happening first. Okay. The connection between under eating protein and stalled results, like no more weight loss on GLP-1s, is real. Okay. It's consistent, and it's almost never what the prescribing provider is looking at, like your doctor. Don't get me started. They know nothing about nutrition. Okay. So just so you know, the medication is not broken, and it's really the foundation that you're missing. So what does hitting your protein actually look like? Okay. So when I mentioned 50 to 60 grams all day, oh my God, that should really be just 2 of your 3 meals and then some. Okay. So here, listen to this. So the target that I work with is a minimum of 30 grams of protein per meal at 3 meals a day. That gets most women to at least 90 grams a day. I always say you need to hit at least 100 and no less than 100, but we're really aiming for like 120 to 130 grams a day. All right. A rule of thumb for if you're tracking macros is you want to aim for the 1 gram of protein per your goal weight. Okay. So if you're trying to lose weight and you say you want to be 140 pounds, you'd go for 140 grams of protein. Okay. So, but on a GLP-1, I know we're not as hungry. Believe me, I'm living it every day. We want to aim for 120, 130. Okay. And I'm not asking anyone, I never ask them to track forever if they don't want to. If you want to, fine. It's up to you, right? But, and as a former math teacher, right, I don't believe in making food a math problem. But unfortunately, sometimes it's as simple as a math problem, like just keeping track, right? The easy math, not the hard math. But I do want you to know that 30 grams of protein, what it actually looks like on a plate, because most women have never seen it. And it's really, you're probably going to be shocked at how not overabundance it is, okay, by looking at it. 4 to 5 ounces of chicken, fish, or turkey is about 20. So if you hit 6 ounces of chicken, you're at about 30 grams of protein. 2 eggs plus 2 egg whites is about 18 to 20. Now remember, eggs are not a lot of protein. People think they are. A large egg is only 6 grams of protein per egg. I eat extra large eggs. They're 8 grams. 2 eggs is 12 grams if you're eating large eggs. That is like a third of your protein intake for 1 meal. Sorry, but that's just how it is. 6 ounces of Greek yogurt, 15 to 18 grams. They have the ratio yogurts and different yogurts on the market that have 25 grams of protein in one container. That is a meal right there. If you're not hungry, eating yogurt is because it's not like heavy like regular food. I wish I could have dairy. I'd eat it all the time. A scoop of quality protein powder, or 2 scoops. Mine, it's 2 scoops, is 20 to 25 grams. Okay. Like I've said before on multiple episodes, my protein shake that I drink every day while I'm working out, or every morning anyway, and then especially, on my workout days, is about 35 to 40 grams of protein. And no, that's not too much because I need it. Because I'd rather start the day off with a lot of protein. So that way, if I'm like not eating it throughout the day, I know I've already hit a third of my protein at breakfast. Okay. But you can see how quickly the math gets hard when appetite is suppressed and meals are super small, right? And so this is why protein has to be intentional on a GLP-1. Not accidental, not whenever happens to be on your plate. It has to be intentional. And there have been days, and I've said this before, where it's 2:00 and I realize I haven't eaten lunch. I'm like, oh my God, I need at least protein. So I'll go, we grill chicken. And so I'll just go eat some cold chicken. I'll stab it with a fork and I'll just walk around with a fork, right? No big deal. I'm in my house. I'm not at work. I work from home. So I do that. And I know I weigh it and I know it's like at least 30 grams of protein. Okay. And I just eat the chicken. On days that I just don't feel like having something heavy on my stomach, I will have another protein shake. And that is okay. Please do not let those people out there telling you that you should not be drinking your protein. They've never been on a GLP-1. Okay. And they're probably a dietitian that follows the book and doesn't understand what really happens in the body. I've had issues with dietitians where they throw studies out at me and I'm like, no, you don't realize I avoid some things for my thyroid or different reasons. Just because a study says it's okay doesn't mean it's okay for my body. So please, it's not one size fits all. And a lot of dietitians don't understand the human connection to it. They're just all clinical. Okay. So if you're having that issue with a dietitian, reach out to me and I'll talk to you gladly. But yeah, so have another protein shake. It's protein. Make sure it's quality protein. Don't buy that sugary crap that's out there. Okay. I use OWYN, OWYN. There's Orgain out there. I can't have the dairy. I can't have the whey in it. So I have to go with the pea protein and it's just fine. I also have my LEMD protein that has a lot of fiber in it. So, I mean, there's a lot of protein out there that is fine to have. Okay. Now, I want you to know that early muscle loss looks like and feels like, because most women don't recognize it until it's already a problem. Okay. So fatigue, okay. If it doesn't improve when you rest, if you get 8 hours of sleep and you wake up exhausted, you take a rest day from workouts and you're still depleted, that's not a sleep problem. That's a body that doesn't have enough fuel to recover. That is a muscle loss problem. Feeling weaker in your workouts that used to feel manageable, like the weights feel heavier, you're running out of steam faster. Things that were easy 6 months ago feel hard now. Most women chalk this up to getting older. It's not age, it's muscle loss. Losing strength in daily life. Carrying your groceries feels harder. Opening jars is a struggle. Well, there are some that are just hard, period. That's what you have to get help on those. But getting up from the floor that requires more effort than it used to. These are not small things. These are your body telling you you're losing muscle, right? Something's wrong. A slower metabolism. We talked about this earlier. Feeling like you need to eat less and less just to maintain weight. Like your body keeps lowering the bar. That's exactly what's happening. Every pound of muscle lost slows your resting metabolism rate. And on a GLP-1 where you're already eating less, that just compounds it faster, unfortunately, and not in a good way, right? And clothes fitting differently in ways that don't match the scale. You're losing weight, but feeling softer, not firmer. Your body composition is shifting in the wrong direction, even as the number goes down. So fat is staying, but muscle is going. And that is the opposite of what we want. Okay, those are all signals, not failures, right? Not aging, not bad luck. It's your body telling you it needs more support than it's getting, and protein is where that support starts, okay? So when your doctor didn't tell you when they gave you your medicine, right, your GLP-1, is that the medication changes how easily it is to undereat protein. Like I said, doctors know diddly squat about nutrition, and don't let them tell you they know when they don't, okay? And that undereating protein is in a perimenopausal or menopausal body has consequences that don't show up on the scale right away. They show up in your energy, your strength, your metabolism, your results 6 months from now, right? You want them to go in the right direction in the next 6 months. Protein is not optional on a GLP-1 in perimenopause or menopause. Women in general, but if you're over 40 especially, this is the strategy you need to follow. So in a couple weeks, we're going to be covering how to eat with a low appetite, or like no appetite, right? Especially what to do when you know you need to eat, but the hunger isn't there to prompt you. Kind of like what we talked about earlier with me and my chicken. Okay. So if you want personalized support building your protein foundation on a GLP-1, I'd love to talk to you. You can book a metabolism consultation call. The link will be in the show notes. It's also all over my website. And we'll figure out exactly what your body needs. And I just want to thank you for listening. If you know a woman who is struggling on a GLP-1 with muscle loss, please share this with her. I want to do a shout out to all those other countries. Iceland, you're number 1 right now for my podcast in nutrition. Woohoo! Swaziland, thank you for listening. Of course, the US, the UK, everyone, thank you for listening. Portugal. And I will be in your headphones next week. Thank you for tuning in to It's Not Just Menopause. I hope today's episode gave you real clarity about what's actually going on in your body and reminded you that it's not just your hormones and it's definitely not your fault. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Cindi Stickle Nutrition, or head to cindystickle.com for more resources and personalized support on your menopause and midlife health journey. Until next time, keep questioning what you've been told and trust that your body is not broken. You just need the truth and the tools that actually work.